Want to see this again? You can see it again. Okay, first one's gone. Now, all right, is it working? Okay. Now, so every fold has the three surfaces with the drapery. You got the top parts that stick out. That's going to be the white, the top or the cap, either way you want to call it. That's the part that sticks out. Fold on your shirt. Fold on the setup with the table, over the chair. That's the top or the cap. The right side and the left side. That's the other two surfaces. The sides that are gray, right? Top is what? What color is the top? White, brightest white. The sides, gray. Okay? The base, where it goes back in, that's the dark, or the black part, the dark. Okay? Where it goes way back in, where it recedes, way back into the chair. Maybe it's on the body, into the body. If we staple it, we're going to have some staple on the wall tomorrow. That's going to be on the wall, where it goes way back in. That's going to be the dark part. Now, the hub, where the drapery folds radiate out from. Okay? So, like at the top of the chair, usually the corner. If there was some right here, there'd be some. Right here along the seat of the chair. Okay, now if you were like this here, okay, right where my knee is, boom, that's the hub. So the folds like right here from the knee down, that's going to be the hub. Okay, if we staple it to the wall over there, where it's stapled, that's going to be the hub, where it all starts falling from, like that. Okay, like right here, that one. Like right here on this one. Right there by that clock. See that top part? It just falls from there. Okay? Look how it falls from here. Falls from that part right there. Falls from right there. Now, the other thing with the hub is there's a little space right there. Space on the hub. See where the ending? There's a space right there. See that? There's a little space there. There's a reason for that. Okay? And that is, the reason is that you don't want it to look like it's pasted on. Okay? So you don't want it to look like it's pasted on the chair or pasted on the body. You want it to look like it's hanging over it, draped over it. That's why it's called drapery, right? So look at that little thin line right there. See that thin line? You want to have, you don't just make it up, it's actually there. You can't see it as much on that, but if you look at the top layer, you can see a little thin white line. Okay? Now, so that's the hub. Okay. The last part, the undercut. The undercut. Now that one is the more difficult part. Most of it's pretty easy. Once you start it, and you got to think of it as shapes. Shapes and lines. Don't use the right side of your, you got to use the right side of your brain, right? If you go to the left, you're saying, okay, I'm drawing drapery, boom, you're in the left side. Stay in the right side of your brain. Think of it all as just shapes, and don't just make it up. Look at it. Really look at it. Now the undercut, can be a little more tricky. It's like the one with the eggs back here. This whole thing is nearly the undercut. It's like where the like it says. What does it say? End of the drape where it lays on the surface or the table. Like this one with the eggs. This one, that's nearly all undercut there, where it's just kind of laid. So this one was very difficult to do. I just kind of was making it up. So after a couple of minutes, you're looking at it. A lot of you're just going to kind of make up a little. Okay. But for the big part of it, where it folds in, that you want to do it just as you see it, like one like this here. So the undercut is just where it would be laying on the table. And the good thing about your setup, except for the seat part, you don't see much undercut on this. Okay, a little bit up here by the seat. If we have this where it lays, usually it goes all the way to the cart, then that would be undercut there, but you don't have that, so that it's easy. Now, when you draw it, you're going to start at the top and just work your way down. If it goes off the page, so be it. Okay, it's not a bad thing. Okay, you just don't want a little picture, you don't want a little stuff in the middle. You want to fill up the space, just like you did with the figure study, the other still life we have here. Make it take up the space, okay? So this is the drapery, and then you see the little diagram right here, the cap. It's on your handout right here at the bottom. Then it's just white. The sides, gray. The B stands for base. That's just going to be darker gray or black cap. Okay, so that's all there is to know. And that's the drapery. Okay, so that covers it pretty good. Now, I want to just show you a couple of demonstrations. Okay, this is one I did in an earlier class. That was one. Here was another one. And then that one was the last one. So we'll do another one of these. And then show you what you got. So, now first, let's look at this right here. This is just as a review of that hub part. See where it says highlight? That's that little thin line at the top. So like right here, so if we were going to draw this out, now this is not, this would be like one just over a chair, you know, like the chair you're sitting on there. So that would be, to be a simpler, a little more like the one back there with the paint. Now, so the first step, get the outline edge of the whole thing. It's the outer edge, you know, that's fairly easy to get that. Just get the outer edge. And then you just put all the folds in the middle. So basically, if we're just doing just kind of the basic setup, kind of like we have here, or like this is like it's hanging over a chair. So you're going to have it right here at the top of the chair, say. This goes down. That's going to be the outside edge of the chair. You get that? Okay. Now, here's where you start putting the folds. Now notice, I didn't go to the top. See that? Look at that. See right there? So see where we're just putting the folds in. They're just kind of coming to the close to the top, but not quite to the top there. So that's going to be kind of how it will look. There's a little thin line there. See that? Now, here, then the next step would be just on a chair, you know, like those chairs are sitting back there. Maybe you start graying it in. You start doing with a marker like this, but you just put the sides in a little bit. This might be a cat. You just kind of start shading in some of the sides, the bases, and so on like that. So that's basically the basic setup, okay? Now, to do this, it's huge technique because you want to have this to shade a face. Again, it's all shading. Just like that was shading, drapery is going to be shading. You know, you can't draw a rock, you can't paint at all. Drapery, most important technique in all of art. Hands down, there's not a more important technique out there. If you can't do drapery, it's impossible to paint. Painting is just drapery. That's all. It's a drapery technique. Really, if you think about it, that's what it is. Gradation, just that light to dark, dark to light, gradual changes, blending out. That's what it is. Now, so you're thinking drapery. It's going to help you shade a face. You know, it's going to help you draw a mountain, paint a mountain. Before this poster too, right? Center for Creative Studies. You've been doing the skull, right? You got that. The aqua will be coming in. Design. This is the drapery. This is the one we're doing right here. See that over there? Right there. That's a great example right there. That's the reason for it. Right there. Now, and then that's what it is. So that's where you're at. So let me show you how to do one of these on here. And we'll set this. So watch, let's get this going. Any questions so far? On drapery. On the drapery. Got the tree, the top, the cap, just white, two sides, the gray, base of the dark, you got the hub, undercut, those are the things to know. And it's really just that simple. I mean, a lot of this stuff is not that much to it necessarily, okay? But it just takes practice to get it and looking at it. All right, so let's try. And I'm going to do it with the charcoal stick. You can use either way. Medium you want to go. Dark lead though if you're going to go do it. And then of course you have your blending things. I have one here with the blenders, things like those for tins. Be careful with those. I don't use those. But if you want to use tissues, chamois, anything to blend, just don't overdo it. Again, what happens if you overdo it? Just all turns gray. So you want to keep the values going, and you don't want to get it too outliney looking. That's a word. Don't get it too outline. Try to blend it a little bit, okay? But just don't. You just got to know where the mixes are, okay? Technique, shading, any of the shading techniques, but see what you got. Now, all right. So the first thing we'll do, let's move this back over a little bit here, and we'll get this where we can see it, and then I'll move it back into the actual spot in just a second. We'll just use it right here just for example. Okay. So let's say that's going to be it. Now I'm going to just draw the outer edge first, okay? So here we go. Now the first thing I'm drawing is the wooden part of the chair there, the top part. This is the chair coming through here, right here. That goes nearly, looks like all the way down thing there. And then this here, there, okay? We're drawing this part of the chair right here. This is what we're drawing so far. Okay, now we're going to come in about right here and start drawing. You see that drapery coming up right there. We're going to get that outer edge first here, then it over. Okay, now I'm going to stop right there. I'm going to come over here. There's another part where this comes back on the other side of the chair here. I'm going to throw that in there. Kind of loops back like that. This kind of goes like that. Another part coming out right here. Just follow along. Just look at me. I'm looking there. See, what your guys are doing is you're looking here too much, and then you're thrown off. You got to keep your eyes mainly on the model, the object, that's what you got to look at. Okay, so that's good. You'll get better at it. Do a few more of them. Okay. Another part coming right here. So that's this part that's sitting on the other side of that hole there. Now we'll come back and shade a little bit in a minute. Now, so we're going back here. I'm about right in this part right in here right now. Okay, so I'm right there. Back is going to come out. I'm going to go ahead and put that fold coming through here. Okay, and then I'm going to bring this over. Questions so far? How are we doing? Okay, now I'm going to measure right here. Put this up, pencil measuring technique on the top of that side just to see. Make sure I don't get it too out of proportion from the other side of the chair. So it looks like it's fairly close to the same, or about right there. Okay. All right, so let's see where we are here. I'm just getting the outer edge first. And then we'll move this back up right there. Come back and shade it in a minute. Right there. Then it looks like it comes all the way down. And figure out how far down we're going to go. Now, so far I haven't got too far down into this part here. This would be a nice part to get some of these legs of the chair if you can. But if you run out of room, don't worry about it. Okay? All right, so be watching. Be watching in the back so you can see there. And look around the still like that. Now, all right, so here's where we're at. Now we're going to put some folds in. So now we got to get off the outer edge first. Okay, we're going to try to go back for some folds. Now the actual wood part of the chair, think like a cylinder, kind of shape that in and everything there. Now let's see what we got here. So this part here is kind of a shadow right there. So now I'm just looking for these silly shadows. And mine's more of a sketch. It'll be a little more detailed. This is still, sketching quickly here, just so you can kind of get the idea of it. Okay. Now, so this part here, we got this part of the drape. We're going to start right here with this drape right here. Right here. Here we go. So this angles down right here. That part of the chair comes out like that. Okay. This is the hem. You see that edge on the drape? If you get that hem part, that's a great little technique part there to do.
Just kidding.
Detail. If you see the hem, throw it in there. The thing to add in. Okay. Realistic touch there. And then this is that fold right there. Any questions back there? Can you see it, Anthony, back there? Alexis Clay, you got it?
Yeah,
Alexis, very good. Be drawing along with us here. Turn around. In your sketchbook. And open it up. Here we go. What we got? Okay. Focus on it. Can you pick this up? Okay. We got a little base in that middle section there. Paper's kind of moving out of here. Best you can here with it. Little base right there. Put that in the right spot, looks like. So I got to throw it off over there. You guys over in the back threw me off there. There you go. Very simple. Try to focus on it. Some lighter gray areas here, and then some light parts there. So some of those lighter areas might be those, that's a little more of the blending part. Okay, so there, okay, right here we are, right here. Now we're right there coming through. There. Looking good?
Yes.
How's it looking? I can't tell. Look, I'm just dressing what I'm looking, what I'm seeing there.
Yeah,
I need to sit back and look. Now, normally, when you're standing at the easel, and the reason for standing is you can back away and sell, if it's coming out kind of like you want it or not. But that's basically what you're doing. Okay. So we're right here. Now, I'm about right in this area here, starting in on this stuff up here now, okay? Okay, just a little sketch, see, I'll give you the idea.
Yes.
It's not as hard as it looks to do, just follow along with it. Think of it as shapes, again, you gotta use that right side of your brain. Think of it as the shapes, that's the key. Think of it as shapes, guys, that's gonna be crucial on it. Take rid of the shapes. Take rid of the shapes, and you'll do much better than you would ever have thought. Take rid of the shapes.
What's that? 110% true.
Okay. Now we'll see where we are. Right here. Let's get to that. I'm going to measure from here. I'm going to see where that came into there. That's going to tell me how far down I can go here. Okay, so I'm here. Okay, I'm there. Got right here. This is where it's going to kind of break right there. Okay, right there. Perfect spot, ending spot there for it. It's going to break out to the edge of the chair. And then boom, it hits that hub. It goes all the way down right there. Okay, so that's where that ends right there. Okay, so we have this right here. Another fold right there. Boom, right there. Okay. It's going to be that little where it comes across. It's going to throw a little line there.
Josh.
Line. Questions so far? What do you think back there? Left side, can you see it? Can you see it?
Not on Facebook.
You can see it?
Yeah,
What are you thinking?
it looks nice.
She said.
Right there. Cross leg bar going across that way.
Looks supposed to.
So we're running out of room there to get the whole thing, but you can see. That seat part's going to be the hardest part up in there. That's going to be the more trickier part. The part you may be making up some stuff, but you got to kind of get part of it in there so you have the overall look. So try your best to get that. If you see that part, you may only see that much of that area just to see where you're at.
Thing of arthritis.
But and then again, that's just the sketch. So you can see kind of what you got,
Just saying.
kind of where you're at with the whole thing. But it's looking at it is the key, and blending and it's shading. Hey, there you go. That looks good right there. All right. So, any other questions? That's drapery in a nutshell right there. That's drapery. There you go. Now this is going to be your setup. We got it marked on the floor with some tape and a Sharpie. That's going to be where it's going to be. You got a little side view there. You guys over here can kind of take it from that view there. So just start at the top, work your way down. You're going to work time. We'll move this back a little bit. It's good all the way around the room. And let's hit the lights now. Let's hit the lights. Let's get a little shot of it. The lights. Get the lights there for us, Mike. The lights.
Did you get your phone back?
There you go. Yeah. And then of course we'll have the lights, which will make it easier because we still got some people on the still light, but it's going to make this much easier just to put the lights on. And put that one in. That's going to shoot toward that light's going to shoot toward this. Okay. The other one's still hitting more on the still light, and then of course everyone's on this box. Again, at the end they're still coming in, so you have to put the chairs up again today as well. Okay, we're good with that. That's good on the video.
All right.
This is Mr. Graves' art room class 302. What's today? The 19th of January 2017. Whatever it's 15, 16, whatever it is. And Graves, let's get it done. All right, let's go.